Thanks for staying with us on the conversation right now. Democratic Republic of Congo leader Tshisekedi arrived in Angola Tuesday on the eve of talks with his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame amid tensions between the two neighbors. This would be the first time the two presidents meet face-to-face for several months. Angola's President João Lourenço, who is hosting the mini-summit, was appointed African Union mediator. Kinshasa accuses Rwanda of supporting the M23, a former Tutsi-dominated rebel group that was defeated in 2013 but took up arms again in November last year. Rwanda, on the other hand, has repeatedly denied backing the rebels, while both countries have accused each other of carrying out cross-border shellings. Now, join us live for this conversation, we have Patrick Kadima, a lecturer and researcher with University of Witwatersrand. He joins us from Johannesburg. It's good to have you, Patrick, on the conversation.
Thanks a lot, and good evening to your viewers as well. I would not be able to switch on my video as, due to the issues of load shedding that has just happened currently.
Okay, thank you so much, Patrick. So right now, let's go straight into discussions between DR Congo's president and, of course, the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Now, Kagame says that the ongoing crisis was an internal DR Congo matter. What exactly is he referring to when he says an internal DR Congo matter?
Possibly he might be referring to the issue of the ethnicity issues that the Democratic Republic of Congo has been facing for many years. He might be referring to the political instability in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It will be very difficult for me to speculate. I mean, to know what he means by that.
Yeah.
It's only himself or his advisors or any political official or senior official from Rwanda who will be able to say what he really meant by that statement. But one can only speculate that he's talking about the political instability in the Democratic Republic of Congo, or he's speaking about the ethnicity issues that the Democratic Republic of Congo has been facing for many years.
Now, looking at ethnicity and, of course, political problems going on there, what exactly are the grievances of the M23 rebels? I saw a video where some of the supposed M23 rebels, they complained about the fact of being able to liberate their people from suffering. That's the reason why they captured the Bunagana town, which is a border to Uganda. So what are some of their grievances with the government?
Can you please repeat that question for me? I lost you a bit.
All right, we're looking at the grievances of the M23 rebels who are said to be attacking DR Congo. Now, according to a video seen, it showed the M23 rebels complaining that one of the reasons why they captured the Bunagana town, which is a border with Uganda, is due to the fact that they wanted to liberate their people from suffering. So what exactly are their grievances, the M23 rebels?
With these rebel groups, you'll never know exactly what their reasons are, and some rebel groups will want, to probably have a part of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo to themselves. Some would want that, the eastern part of the DRC is turned into another state, divided and they have their own part, and so on and so forth. So I actually think that these rebel groups have various interests in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They have certain objectives. They want probably political power and so on and so forth. So it will be very difficult. And in essence, even if they tell you on TV or on media or via videos or whatever it is that this is what they want, probably then their end goal is that they want political power at the end of the day and nothing else.
Now, Patrick, the Congolese leader ahead of this meeting, which is to hold today, said Kagame should show sincerity in discussions and admit that his government was backing M23 rebels. Have there been any facts to prove these allegations, and why would Rwanda be backing rebels?
Sorry, please repeat again there.
Now, I said that the Congolese president said that in his discussion with Kagame, that Kagame should show sincerity in discussions and admit that his government was backing M23 rebels. Now, what facts have been proven to prove these allegations, and why would Rwanda be backing such rebels?
With such things, these are speculations, and if the Democratic Republic of Congo government, through the president, feels that the Rwandan government is indeed supporting the M23 rebels, then that means that one should go upon on an inquiry to find out if these allegations are true, and one cannot just speculate on these issues. But if indeed a member state thinks that another member state is having a hand in the affairs or in the instability of its own country, then it is vital that an inquiry is done in that sense. And I think for now, if at all there is involvement of Rwanda in the Democratic Republic of Congo's instability in the eastern part, then that should be dealt with the seriousness it deserves. It will need the regional organizations to get involved, because then that is destabilizing another member state's peace and destabilizing another member state's ability or objective to try to put or restore peace in its land. So for now, I think there needs to be an inquiry to really find out from an independent regional body, or a panel of experts, to go really find out if indeed, because we will be going back and forth. Rwanda will say I'm not involved, DRC will say I'm not involved. Rwanda is involved. So we need to really have an independent body of experts who will undergo a study to find out if really the neighboring country has been involved, and that measures are taken to solve that issue.
Still on the quest for peace, in this meeting, President Tshisekedi said, if Rwanda's provocation continues, we will not sit and do nothing about it. We are not weak. Now, DR Congo is still reeling from the effects of insecurity. Can they afford an outbreak of war?
On the issue of affording an outbreak of war, so first thing is first, if the crisis is not solved, this crisis is going to break out. It's going to affect not only the East African region, not only Central Africa. It's going to affect the Southern African region as well, because where there is a crisis like that, and where a country says that they will not just sit down and they will retaliate, it means that the country is now seeking to go on a military a mission to fight back. And if that is the case, then we will have, such conflicts are not easy. They have serious consequences. They are consequences of migration, and people will be moving around. We will have a immigration crisis in the region, both East Africa, Central Africa, and Southern Africa. As people will be feeling the conflicts from both countries and instability. So that should not happen. And I think if that goes to that length, then we will have a serious issue. And as I've mentioned before, it's the failure of these regional organizations that these countries belong to to try to put stability. For example, I've always given an example of ECOWAS. The ECOWAS region has always been up to the game, and there's been an example that a crisis, when there's a crisis, it needs to be quelled quickly, before it now affects the whole region. But this is not what we have seen from SADC. This is not what we have seen probably from the East African community. We have seen they have held talks, and they're trying to hold talks with the East African community, but we have not seen that political will, for them to try to quell this thing. Yes, they've said they want to send a regional standby force or regional force to enter into the Democratic Republic of Congo, but I do not think absolutely that is the solution to that issue. We need to look at peace talks. We need to look at negotiations. We need to have a lot of non-state actors, state actors involved in these peace talks to try to restore stability in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
All right, Patrick, talking about regional cooperation and this force that the East African leaders have agreed on in Kenya. Now, the DRC president objected to Rwandan army taking part. Do you think there will be any reconsideration on the part of DRC, especially on bringing Rwandan forces?
No, I don't think there will be a consideration of that. I mean, if it's normal, you know, that if you suspect somebody to be involved in the affairs or the instability in your country, you will tell them to not be part of that. So I don't think there will be a consideration. The best thing is for the East African community to keep Rwanda out of the picture if things are supposed to be solved, because this is still an allegation and it needs to be proved. There's no time for all these steps to be taken, to be proven and say, okay, let us see if they're involved or not. I think that they should just stay out and of the picture and just, you know, involve other countries. As to whether the regional force will be less stronger and, it will not have a higher impact because maybe Rwanda has, you know, a stronger army that can contribute. That is still to be seen, but you know, if countries are going to work and the region is going to work together, then without Rwanda, then I think that's possible, because the moment that you involve Rwanda in the picture of the regional force, it will mean that if the instability worsens, then they will say it is them who did this. You know, we should not have involved them. We told them this and that. So for both parties, I think it's better that the Rwandese government stays out of the regional force.
Okay, now I will get you reports from this meeting, which is ongoing between the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, and the president of DRC, Tshisekedi. And we're hearing reports that they have both agreed, the two presidents have agreed to de-escalate tensions. How do you feel with this report going on right now?
If they have agreed to de-escalate tensions, then it's a wonderful thing. It means that the parties, it's probably the first step to solving issues, and if both of them have agreed to that, then it's a wonderful thing, because then the next step can take place, which is a dialogue, negotiations can take place to see how things can work. I mean, for these two countries to be fighting is really a pity, because they can contribute too much to their regions, their respective regions, and to Africa as neighbors. You know, they have the potential to drive the economic power of the continent and of their regions. And it's unfortunate that at this instance that these two neighbors are finding themselves once again at war, you know, and it needs to be solved.
All right, thank you so much, Padre Kadima, for joining us on this conversation. And we do hope that this agreement to de-escalate tensions actually brings about fruitful results. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's where we'll draw the curtains on today's edition of The Conversation. Earlier, we discussed situations in Malawi and the independence journey so far. We also discussed situations in Nigeria, where we're having security threats. First, an attack on the president's convoy, and prison Kuje Correctional Center in the nation's capital, Abuja, was also attacked, where about 600 inmates were supposedly freed from the correctional facility. And right now, we just finished discussions on DR Congo and Rwanda, where the presidents are having the discussions and they have agreed to de-escalate tensions. Do join us again on Friday for another edition of The Conversation. I am Rita Omodia.